Hello, 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 beautiful people. It's your girl, Kim Bella. Tonight we have a very special podcast with two very special guests. We are continuing to celebrate Women's History Month. Yes, let's give it up for women, guys. So tonight we're going to focus on women's ambition, what motivates us and what keeps us going. Tonight, let's go ahead and introduce our very special guest, Miss Kysionia Daye. How are you doing?
I am blessed. Thank you, Kim. I am blessed. Kysionia Daye by way of the Bull City. I am a mother to a 4-year-old, beautiful little butterfly, screenwriter, actress, producer, and also work in pharmacy part-time. But That's me, and I'm just blessed to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I'm glad to have you on tonight. And my other queen over here, Miss Nicole Atkins. How you doing? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Kim. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nicole Atkins. I'm originally from Chesapeake, Virginia. I currently live in Woodbridge. I'm married, been married for 7 years, have 2 kids, a son that's 5 and a daughter that's 3. My background is in IT, audit, and accounting. So I've done some work with the Big Four. I currently work for a not-for-profit, and just really happy to be here and amongst you, both of you ladies. So looking forward to this evening.
Yes. Looking forward to spending it with you guys. So let's get right into it, ladies. Tonight's episode 6 is called Females' Ambition. So we're going to talk about women, our ambitions, and just how we move forward in success and keep it there, and what support we need in the process. So tonight, we're going to go ahead and get started. Historically, women were behind the scenes. In other words, seen and not heard. Now we're in the 21st century, we've come full circle. Ambition is what drives us to reach our goals and in hopes of leaving behind a legacy that our children will be proud of. How does your work positively impact or inspire women around the world? And what does that mean to you? Would somebody like to start with us tonight?
Well, I'll kick it off. Sorry, go ahead.
So I'll just say, of course, we know females have been oppressed. That's for generations at a time. So it is just a blessing that we are able to even stand and have a voice. For centuries, women didn't have a voice at the time. So just to be able to do that, to have a vision, to have a dream, to pursue that, I think, and to be able to pass that on to our children or our nieces and nephews, somewhat just to carry the generational name. So it's important today. That's how I impact women, just to have that drive, that focus and that viewpoint to carry out a dream, to show that anyone can do it, anyone can pursue that.
Exactly.
I say, just to add to that, I just think, it's really important to have a seat at the table. I think, it continues to be a disproportionately larger amount of men than women sitting in executive and leadership roles, but I'm glad to see that there are changes. I think it's important as women that we continue to lift others behind us as we climb. And so I think that's important for me, having mentors, female mentors, but also too, who is it that I can bring behind me, right? Because I'm just one of many that's trying to, make it and thrive. And so I think that's important as well.
Exactly. Being in a position, especially a position, upper level management position, you do have people behind you, especially other women, not even just women of color. There's a lot of just women just get passed over, especially in the, the corporate world and the acting world. Sometimes you get, the males get more money or, just depending on, they're dominant, so you have to be, when you get in those positions, you have to reach back. I always feel like if I'm in a position that I can reach back and I can mentor somebody else or a young woman who's coming up, then that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what we're made to do. It's so many of us, I feel like, that are in high positions that don't do it. I've seen that,
Or the fear of competition, the wrong focus point.
Exactly.
Just feeling a threat, and that's what we're trying to address now. You can see that women always feel threatened by the next woman because of her success or what she brings, instead of working, together. That's hitting me over now.
Exactly. competing with ourselves, competing with men. Like, you know, when I'm sitting sitting in a meeting, how is it that I can answer a question or collaborating with others that I'm always checking with myself? Do I sound too emotional, right? Is it too much anger in my voice if I'm passionate about something? And just constantly always having to check myself, you know, and I don't feel like men do that, right? So how can I do that and still be effective in terms of what I'm communicating, and that others want to listen to me and value my opinion the same way that they do a male? I think that's a constant issue, you know, for us. But we're making headways, but it's going to take, you know, some more time. So
it's definitely a double standard when it comes to, you know, how women are viewed when they're passionate about something. Men get away with a little bit more in the work field, in the work world. You know, I've witnessed a man beat his head on the table in a conference room, and was like, because he was passionate about something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they would have carried me out with a straight jacket on. Security, right?
Right.
Like, what is up with this church? She got
angry black woman. That's
nobody said a word. Nobody looked his way. Nobody said, "Hey, can I see you outside?" He continued staying in the conference, you know, around the table, and just was looking like, yeah. And what? So I was like, you know, it was hilarious because I know him, but I'm like, you can't do that, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, he's still elevated. But you know, we would have been this what is it called? Carried away. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So describe some characteristics about yourself that lead you to success. What is it about yourself? Some things about yourself that lead you into that pathway of success.
Perseverance, passion, humility. It took a lot to be humble in situations. Being able to take that constructive criticism.
Right.
You think what you're stating is right, but it's not always right. It's not
Oh,
always
baby, yes.
to express yourself. And integrity. I mean, I think being honest with yourself and everybody around you when someone's not looking, that's important. You know who sees all too. So
to add to that, I'd say, you know, being driven, strong-willed, focused. You know, my dad has said to me, you know, he still says to me, and I remember when I was young, even to now, he was like, you know, you have something once you put something in your mind, like, I know, you know, you're going to do it. Like, it's no change in, you know, your mind. I think that's it can be seen as negative by some, but I think that's so important, because if you have this goal and you want to achieve it, you keep fighting for it no matter what is in your way until you get it. And I think that's so, you know, important. I think it's also important too to have other people to support you, right?
Right.
And so if you have that support system, I think that just pushes you even further to stay and remain focused. And also getting a pat on the back when somebody recognizes you, that's confirmation that what you're doing is good and to continue. So
Oh yeah, definitely. And I do think as women, we need that recognition. You know, a lot of times we in the workplace or doing something and we never get recognized. And it feels good. It feels good. I was awarded the bronze medal this year for my job. And for a long time, I'm like, thank you. But for a long time, it's like I'm putting it out. You feel like you're putting out his work. You know, sometimes you got an MPA. So yeah, I work in policy pipeline. And so, you know, I'm putting in all this work, and sometimes you need that validation because it's like, you want to know, are you doing it right? Are you, you know, are you elevating, or are you going up? Are you, you know, so it's somebody recognizing the work that you do, because a lot of times that pushes you to do better and to, you know, keep going. It gives you that fuel, you know. So yeah.
And it's just not in vain. Like, you're working, you know, you're helping the company, but also you're not doing your work in vain. You're not just banging your head like you said, oh, God was doing for his passion and will, but you're out actually putting in the work, and you're getting, you know, that positive feedback is fuel for you. Like, it's fuel and motivation.
It's motivation, exactly. It gives you motivation. So yeah, I'm excited about some things coming up, but I'll tell y'all after. But anyway, let's move forward. Okay, so ambition, let's keep on going with that ambition in the workplace. Women have historically been discounted in the work industry. What are some of the biggest struggles and triumphs that women have had to deal with in the business? And how does your ambition help you overcome these struggles?
Ooh, the balance of responsibility. Between now being a mother and the workplace of a 9-to-5, in addition to your own business. We have demanding positions as mothers or wives, or, you know, people that look up to us or expect us to never fail. Fear of failure was always one for mine. Like, sometimes you don't want to pursue because of that failure, or you think that you can't do it, but then you pursue it, then how would you ever know if you don't?
And I think too, the idea of trying to work smarter and not harder, you know, and I definitely think with the pandemic, you know, everybody being in the house together, and it's great, you're bonding, but also too, it's like now you're trying to navigate even more. How are you getting work done, but still handling your personal life? And, you know, where you would have those breaks at work where you could, you know, I don't know, go for a walk, get some coffee. You don't have that same, you know, type of break if you're in the house, right? I just constantly, you know, coming up with ideas. What can I do to make this easier for me, that I'm not working harder, but still getting the job done?
Right. It's a work in progress, the balance. I can't stress that enough, that just having that balance.
Yeah, you just definitely got to have that balance. I heard you say, get a break when you go to work.
Breathe.
I
breathe. Like right now I'm breathing because the support outside of this allows me to have my me time. But when you have a constant little one that's always in your business, it's like, I do get me time though, right? Don't I deserve that? No.
And I agree. Work gives you kind of like when you used to go into the office, it gives you a little break from the household. You know, it's like, oh, even though you might not even want to be at work. You at work, but you got a little break, right?
Yeah.
That is funny. Oh my gosh. All right, ladies, it's time for the bowl of truth. We're going to take a little break. We're going to talk about some topics and just, you know, hang tight a little bit and laugh a little bit and give our true thoughts. Are y'all ready?
We are ready. You ready, Nicole?
Ready.
Let's shake it.
Ready. A little nervous. Don't know what she's going to ask.
I ain't ready. All right. Tonight, we're going to talk about Prince Harry's exit from the royal kingdom. So Prince Harry left the whole dynasty for his wife, Meghan Markle. First, let's discuss what type of love that is for a woman. Also, how important it is for a woman to receive support from their significant other to keep moving forward into success. We know that Meghan was distraught. She had a few, you know, racial things going on. During her pregnancy, she was attempting suicidal thoughts during that time. And so, you know, Prince Harry did what he had to do to save his family, save his wife's sanity. And let's talk about that. What kind of man is that?
You heard your first word, right?
What?
You said, what type of man? That's number one. He's that man. Okay. Not making light of any situation of anybody's man, husband, or whatever they label it as, but that's a man for one. And then number two, he was the husband. So he honored her, you know, honored that. And then he's the father. So he took all three of those aspects into consideration when probably making those thoughts in his head that he needed to do something. And it's what they call pragma love, that enduring love. It's not an obsession. It's not possessive. It's protecting what he has. And I mean, my hat's off to him. They bow to this man. I don't know about that, but I know my hat goes off. I commend any man that's able to put that family in the forefront. With any danger leaving behind all millions, whatever money he had, he felt it wasn't worth it. He wanted his family. So that's
exactly.
We could talk about that for 45, 50 minutes to an hour. You know?
Yeah. Ooh, Harry was, go ahead, Nicole. You want to put your input? on that man? What type of husband?
I don't know what type of love you would call it, but I would also say too, it was about him. I feel like taking a hold of a situation that he saw his mother go through or heard about what his mother went through because he was so young when his mother passed, to say, you know what, I'm breaking this curse or whatever you want to call it, that this is not going to happen to my family what happened to my parents or ultimately my mom. The tragedy there was she didn't have the same support and the protection that she should have received, right? And so it's like, okay, I'm seeing the same thing happen to my now wife. My future, child may be exposed to the same types of things that I was exposed to. I'm putting the brakes right here. And what can I do to change that? And if that means stepping away from the royal kingdom, I still love my family, and I think he made that abundantly clear, but I want to do something different for my family. And so that's just a different kind of love. I don't know, what definition you put behind that, but I think that's strong love, that's compassion, that's passion, for the relationship, for the marriage, and for the family. So. Mm-hmm. And I know people, talk about Megan as an individual, aside from color, race, just the fact of, she's an American, he's, British, and she should have known what she was getting herself into. And I'm like, until you're, thrust into that type of spotlight, I don't think anyone knew what to expect. Right. And so I think when she was in that and just really seeing the significance and what it was causing, right, that negativeness about it, I think he said, you know what, we have to go. And so
I
applaud him for that, or them for that.
Definitely. That type of love, man, let me tell you, that's the type of love, like, if you don't do this for me.
What's the meme? Did y'all see the meme about how some women can't get their men to block a number, but this man left his whole country,
whole kingdom? You hear me?
That's it.
So I'm like, this one of the things is like, this is my life. If you don't do something about this, he passed the test. You know that test where you sink or swim? That boy was snorkeling. You hear me?
But I think the key to it too is like, and you could tell, I think from the interview, that they both said, like, we're going to do this together. Because he talked about like his mom not having anyone. And I think I know your second part of your question was about support. I think just the fact that they had the support of each other, I think that's important. I think as women, like, people automatically expect that. But I think for a man too, that was like confirmation, like, I'm doing the right thing because I have her back. But she turned around, she has my back too, right? So
absolutely.
Being reciprocating of the love, like they knew it was genuine for each other. So, I mean, it gets no better than
it gets no better. Like, and I feel like the royals she probably will get a lot of backlash. She probably will get a lot of, this is kind of like the first time somebody has done this in the family, left the family like that. And, if you listen to the interview they did with Oprah, he loves his family. And
he's hurt.
I think it hurts him. And I think in a way she saved him. Because if you listen to his story, they say, oh, why should we feel sorry for Prince Harry? You're rich, you grew up in a palace, you did this. He said, y'all don't know what people go through when the cameras are off. I have to get up and smile when I don't feel like smiling. Who knows what he went through? And he said out of his mouth, my brother and my father are trapped. He used the word trapped. Like, this is what they were born into. This is what they have to do. And they can't get out,
Suffocating. They were suffocating. Like his mother. You could tell he didn't want that for his life.
No, absolutely. And their interviews were almost identical. Eerie. Princess Diana and Marcus. Their interviews were they sounded like the same person, the same type of issues, suicidal thoughts, and it was just heartbreaking. To hear that. And then looking back at their pictures with his mom and him, it is heartbreaking. And I think that just made it even more real for him of what he had to do, So I commend Harry, give it up for Harry. Prince Harry, he always, and he's a good looking brother too. Like,
you don't think William is handsome?
Yeah.
William look like he's about 80 years old, but I ain't gonna go there. She got the right one too, honey. Let me tell you, with his red hair and his little cute self. I said, you better go snatch that man up from that kingdom, girl.
And better.
And got it. Yeah. And they're gonna be just fine. They're gonna be just fine.
Are. Look at him for doing the right thing. You know, he's already offered a position with $1 billion dollar company did you see? And something in I think IT or something that they offered.
Okay, yeah, I did hear about that.
And I think they have some collective deals, right, worth $100 million. So they are not going to be needing any money.
They're gonna be just fine. Trust me.
Yes.
And I heard that you heard that Tyler Perry, they stayed at his place.
And he paid for their security.
Let's give it up to Tyler Perry.
Yes.
Tyler Perry be coming through, man. He be coming through.
And he's not he's not talking about it, right? He's not putting the word out. Like he's done a lot for a lot of people. And so that's perfect example of lifting as we climb. Like, his name is coming up, but it's like after the fact. It's not in the midst of everything that's going on. So yeah.
Yeah, he's not that type to boast about things he's
exactly.
done. He's offered what was it, Trayvon Martin and their family, his private jets and things for, the Black Lives Matter campaign and stuff like that. He flew people in, and George Floyd's people, he flew them in. He just a nice stand-up guy. Like he don't boast about it. He just do it. So that's why he's blessed. And you can say what you want to say about Tyler Perry, but
right.
Yeah, man.
Because the work he's putting out is you can see the karma. It's good karma and good energy is coming back to him. So.
Right. So when he tell y'all take that vaccine, y'all better take that vaccine.
I took it. I definitely did.
I got my first one too.
I got my first one too.
So kudos. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's go back into our last leg. The future is female. Okay, this topic, women keeping success in the forefront. With everything going on with COVID, the racial wars, our poverty, sickness, we have a lot of hats to wear. We're mothers, we work, we're business women, we got co-workers, we're sisters, we're wives. And there's so much going on. Sometimes we're confined to the home. I know I'm confined to the home while I work. So, making sure I make sure the household together, the kids are striving on their virtual learning. And sometimes it can be overwhelming for us. What daily or weekly ritual do you have that keep you moving forward and mentally intact to keep success in the forefront? Do y'all have any rituals that you do for yourself on a weekly basis, or your thought process, or anything that keeps you organized and keep your mental intact?
I think, well, for me, I don't know if I would call it a ritual, but definitely like a daily devotional, 5 or 10 minutes, whether it's reading the Bible or any other type of, notes, just really talking, to God, with God about everything, that's going on. I feel like that is so, important. I haven't always been the best with, working out and maintaining a workout, but I would say definitely during the pandemic, now you have no excuse, right, to do something. And so just trying to do that 5 times a week. And then for me, I have a real tight circle of friends, a small circle that I try to reach out to at least 1 or 2 of them during the week just to see how they're doing. Because I think, again, as women, being the wives, being the mothers and workers, I think everybody, likes to, just chat and, whether it's to vent or to listen, right? We all kind of go back and forth through that. So it's good to know that I have, those special group of friends I can reach out to. And I hope they feel like, they can reach out to me as well. So if you want to call that a ritual, that's my ritual. But I think that's important. And that's probably what really has, helped get me through it, because hearing that another woman is going through something similar that I'm going through, and hearing what their methods are, or me sharing my methods, I think that helps everybody, to cope. So.
Right.
Definitely.
Go ahead and add me to the list.
Okay. You got it.
So you can call me.
All right.
A lot of times when you are, anything I post, anything I do is just motivation to the next, because it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's really hard. To start my days, I always do prayer. I have to wake up, Fajr prayer. I'm Muslim too. Pray to God that this day is not like yesterday, or it's something even better than before. I can receive a blessing or be a blessing to someone else's life today. But yeah, prayer, daily affirmations, having to hear myself speak it and believe it myself. Because a lot of times when I'm speaking it, like when I speak to my daughter about telling herself she is beautiful, she is strong, she is a leader. I have to hear myself say these things so I can believe in my mind, because it's hard. And a lot of times you want to fold, but you can't. You want to hide. I just like I'm an introvert at times, so I want to just crawl away. But definitely trying to keep some bit of exercise to keep my mind free. I do write, or like my acting world, it helps me to become another character, to escape everything. If I want to be crazy on this day with this character, I can. If I want to cry about it on this character, I can. So character development, it does help with my writing to go through, because I have all this And Nicole,
I got you.
Yeah. It's definitely a hard time for especially women at this time. And it's hard on the kids. I have 3 little ones, so you get frustrated sometimes. Like you said, you wanna throw in the towel. I don't know. I'm telling you. Somebody be like, Kim, I don't see how you do it. Everybody, my kids are all on virtual. Let me see, 9, 7, and 4. And so, and then I have maybe probably 4 schedules to keep up with. I have conference calls. I have conference meetings on Teams where they want me to turn my camera on. And I got a 4-year-old running behind me. I'm like, I got my picture on. Is that good enough? So it's hard. And especially when I'm leading a meeting, like I can't fake that. So I gotta keep hitting the mute button. So they won't hear everything going on in the background. But it's been a blessing to be able to work from home. But like you said, it's been tough. And so I think for me, I like to write in my self-care journal. I love reading. That gets me away. And sometimes just sitting back watching something that I want to watch, binge watching something that I've missed because of the things I have on my plate, So, and sometimes, my husband sometimes find me like up late. Like I'll be up maybe 1, 2 o'clock sometimes, just kind of binge watching or catching up on some stuff. Cause CNN is on all day, that drives me nuts, but I still got to keep up with what's going on. So yeah, just having that devotion. And then, like you said, Nicole, talking to your friends, your sisters, or, your close friends to see how they're doing, because everybody's going through something. And it feels good to, talk to people and FaceTime people so they can see you, because definitely just keeping in contact with people is a good way to, keep it going. So, but yeah, we're getting through it. We're almost there. We're almost at the last leg. So let's keep hope alive. Hey guys. So next thing I want to know, what woman inspired you? What woman has positively impacted your life or your career for that matter? And what is one lesson she taught you?
Well, I know for me, it's going to sound cliche, but it's definitely my mom. She was the first one in her family to go to college. She grew up in North Carolina in the South. She lived on a farm. So she knew how to do, just about everything from riding a tractor to, what is it that they, she did tobacco, all types of stuff. And like, if you were to see her, you would be like, oh, you did all of this. But, leave that to go to college. She went on to get her master's, and she recently just got her PhD. And so again, another like first in our family. So and I mean, she was just the type, like anything I would say for me and my siblings that we wanted to do, like she just encouraged us to do it. Now, you know, her background is in teaching and education, and so she was really big about, you know, you doing, you know, well in school. Like, you know, she didn't play when it came to, you know, being focused, but just in terms of encouraging us, definitely. And she's still encouraging, you know, now. So I would definitely say her. I had to say, I mean, definitely, you know, I have other people in my family too, but she's definitely the main one that sticks out. So,
and she should.
Just to piggyback off Nicole, I would say my mom, always being that center of focus for everyone. It was sacrificing herself for the next person, and also not all positive. Some, you know, reflections of her life just wanted me to do something opposite. Not getting comfortable in situations where, you know, where you're just working for someone else. So it's just, she always gave, so I just want to be able to give to her. That's pretty much.
Awesome.
So she was always that focus, positive impact to me.
Yeah. And you know, for me, I think we all just on the same page. It's my mom. You know, as y'all know, my mom passed a couple years ago. So you know, she was the person I talked to like 5 or 10 times a day. So she inspired me so much because her life, you know, her legacy that she left behind, she was always giving, just a beautiful person inside and out. At the age of 18, she left a little town in Virginia, Martinsville, Virginia, and went to New York. She moved to New York. Her brothers were already there, but she went there just knowing her and how like scary she is about everything. It was just surprising that you would go to a big city like that, right? And, you know, she learned, you know, to take the train. She just learned, you know, she worked in different areas. And it just amazes me how she navigated through life. And, you know, she had 6 children. And you really, being a mother now and having 3 children, I really understand like things that she went through with her children. You know, having to know 6 different personalities and how to deal with those personalities. And she used to always say, I know each one of my children and I know how to deal with each one, you know? And so it's just amazing, her life, and just, you know, her being so thoughtful and helpful to everybody. And it transpired when she passed because it was flooded. You know, people came, and that's, you know, you want to leave behind, you don't want somebody not to show up to see you, you know, to honor you. Right. So it's like all these people came from all over, and it's like, wow, you know, you made an impact in somebody's life. And so, you know, I carry the torch for her. You know, I'm her legacy, what she left behind. So I'm going to continue to make her proud, continue to meet those marks, and, you know, I'm carrying that torch. So that's why I push so hard for women empowerment, positivity, sisterhood, because that's what she wanted. That's what she is. So, yeah, our moms. let's give it up for our mommies. You guys are so sweet. So yeah, we're gonna close out though. So on our final thoughts though, I want to know, you know, your final thoughts on women's history, and, you know, just reflect on how far women have come. I know I posted a few things about our history and things we weren't allowed to do not even too long ago. You know, 1974, we couldn't get a credit card. We couldn't get a house in our name. We couldn't get anything. And it's like now we're leading the country. Like how do you feel about that? Like,
entrepreneurs at this point.
Yes.
The Vice President of the United States, that speaks for itself. Kamala Harris, I mean, that shows the change and I guess the positive impact, as you say. We're doing it. I mean, we can't be stopped at this point. If they try to, they can't do it.
Yeah, it's just we're unstoppable. I think that we're stronger in numbers. We are united. We can do anything. And just I feel like even though sometimes you do come across some women that are a little bitter, or a little, the ones that are not, focused on, women empowerment, but still, always extend that olive branch to them, and always, because,
Right.
a lot of times I came into circles of women, or a new job or something, and I was prejudged, like, oh, she thinks she cute. Oh, she think, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, Kysionia.
Yeah, especially when you come in positive and
Right.
you walk with your head up high, or you have a certain demeanor about yourself. It's like you said, you think you're better, or you haven't been through anything. When honestly, we could have the same story, we just carry it different.
Exactly.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, I just want to encourage women just to give each other a chance, because a lot of
You're
times
doing it, Kim. I commend you for this.
Yes.
This is beautiful. This is like beautiful. Like, you talk about a legacy you're leaving there.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that to you. You are doing this. You're owning you're owning this. And this is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so
to echo
much.
that. Yeah, I appreciate you having me. I've enjoyed this time with you ladies, but definitely for using this platform, to elevate women. I think that's so important. And the topics that you're covering, just shedding a lot of light and just giving people different perspectives. So who's to say, after watching this, you have, changed someone's perspective. So thank you, and I appreciate you for doing this. So.
Right.
Thank you guys so much.
You never know the impact you have on someone, Kim. You really are doing it.
Yeah.
Like you say, those ones that are peeking but won't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the major things that they're looking at, just to see what other women are going through. They may not ask,
Right.
Yeah.
afraid, but we all have a story.
And that's what it is. It's not about how many likes. It's not about how many spins. It's about if I can impact one person, or reach one person that may be down that day, but hear something that resonates with them. That's that's my purpose. So yeah.
You found your voice.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Power over voice.
Yes, her power over voice, baby.
Yes.
So yes, we're gonna close out with always be you, stay true, and spread love. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me. I appreciate you all. All right, we're out.